Hello again, and welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is Jesse here, and I am back for another game accessibility video. And this time it's actually a PlayStation 5 game accessibility video for Horizon Forbidden West. Horizon Forbidden West. Now, this is not going to be a gameplay low vision spotlight or anything. I'll show you a little bit of gameplay, just like what the environment is like. I want to minimize spoilers and everything like that. But this video is really primarily meant to be an accessibility review of the game, and I want to show you the menus. I want to show you what accessibility features and options are there. And I want to show you, like I said, in the gameplay environment that I'm in right now, I have it paused, and I want to show you like where I potentially have some issues. So before I go any further, I want to thank Sony and the developers of this game for the review code. They were kind enough to reach out and offer a review code a couple weeks ahead of the release of this game. So we could get farther into the game, take our time, because this is a giant open world game. But unfortunately for me, I haven't been able to enjoy said open world all that much because I have actually struggled with this one a little bit. It does have some nice accessibility features, but for me personally, visually, it is kind of tough. So I'm on the pause screen now. I'm also playing this on my PC via remote play. I've been playing it on my TV and my PlayStation 5 directly with my Sony 3D headphones and everything. But for the video, I'm doing it on the computer because I can capture this way. So first thing you kind of notice, the pause menu, there's a lot of text in this game that doesn't really have a good contrasting background. So like your pause menu here, there are like your mission objectives in the upper left. There are sometimes it'll give you button control tutorials on the right hand side, or when you scan something in the environment, you'll get this kind of blue box that does have a background, but it's light text on kind of a pale bluish background, and I'll show you some of that so you can kind of see. So visually, there are like the blue thing, the scanner thing. That is a really cool feature because it can help clue you into things in the environment and such. But visually, I am having a lot of trouble. But let's go into like I want to show you the positives and what I have trouble with. So I'm going to go down to settings here. Now this screen is actually quite nice. You have the dark background. You have light text. Everything is all nice and contrast. Simple fonts, that's good, or clean fonts, I should say. And you can use the D-pad to go up and down the menus. I know a lot of games these days will use cursor or like a mouse pointer kind of menu. And especially for blind low vision, that can be very troublesome. That can be very sort of difficult. So across the top we have general, controls, audio, visual, and accessibility. So naturally, let's poke around accessibility first. I'm going to use my bumpers here. And they do have quite a few options, some of which I've played around with a lot of these. So I'll kind of run through some of them. So we have a difficulty setting. I'm on story mode right now. I've popped between story and easy. You can adjust them on the fly, which is excellent. I've tried different difficulties. There are some assists that it turns on when you are on the lower difficulties, so I just kind of went that way because I was having such visual trouble with the game. So we have this concentration duration. This is kind of cool because I can adjust this and I can have it long, longer, or default. I'm going to put it on longer because that will help with being able to see certain things. So again, I've been playing with some of these options quite a bit here. Auto concentration. Okay, we can turn that on and off. Auto heal, we can turn that on and off. When we get to a certain health, we can auto heal. Quest pathfinding. This one is pretty interesting because you have a guided, which I have it on now, and there's an exploratory. So the exploratory just kind of lets you explore more freely and not really guide you every step of the way. But I wanted to see how well guided worked. And it did help some, but like I said, there were just some environmental cues that I really had trouble seeing. We'll get to that in a little while. Waypoint pathfinding. So you have options for that. I put that on guided as well, so you can kind of get waypoints as you're going. You got a button layout and customization, so that's excellent. That's great that that is there. Contextual reminders, and you can turn those on or off. Especially when I came back today after not having played for a few days, I'm like, wait, how do I do that again? So I'm really glad those are there because it actually cued me in. Oh yeah, that's how I do that little grapple hook thingy. So we have weapon wheel slowdown, so you can kind of slow down the time when you're selecting your weapons. That is extremely helpful if you need extra time to see or read the controls. Gauntlet runs, quick. Oh yes, quick time events. Boo, quick time. But you can hold or tap, so you have those. Auto shield wing, that's kind of your little hovery or your glider thingy. Mount follows roads, so that is actually a really nice thing. Co-pilot. Now remember, Xbox has had this as kind of a feature for a long time, but this game actually has a co-pilot feature where you can have multiple people. Like, let's say you have somebody with limited mobility or who can't see the game as well. You can kind of take over the main character with multiple controllers and help each other out. That is pretty cool. So we have aim assist, we have hold toggles, auto sprint. There's a couple of those. Swap move and look sticks. So if you want to kind of have like a lefty mode where you use the different sticks, you can do that. And they break them down into nice little chunks, a nice little category here. I do wish they had text to speech. That would be really helpful for these menus. I really, really have started to just absolutely love text to speech. So this is cool. Movement sensitivity. Left, right stick dead zone, you can adjust that. Camera x-axis, y-axis, so you can really fine-tune, if something's not sensitive enough, it's too sensitive. Vibration intensity, you have a bunch of vibration options. I'm not going to read every one of them here, but even with the DualSense controller, you can, some people find the really specific rumble, like especially in the rumble in the triggers, to be problematic. So you can either adjust or turn those off. That is very welcome for the people who need that. You have trigger effect. Let's see, trigger effect weapons. Let's see. Yeah, it's a bunch of vibration stuff. We got motion blur. We can turn that on and off. I know a lot of people love to turn that off. Camera shake. You can disable that if you wish. Underwater camera shake. You can turn that off as well. Camera positioning. You got some options there. Let's see. Yes. Okay, yeah. Climbing. Oh, wait. Oh, annotation's always on. Okay. So we have those. Like I said, there are tons of stuff here. And like I said, especially I would say more if you have a mobility impairment or even hearing impairment. They've got a lot of audio and subtitle volumes and options and stuff like that. It's the visual stuff that, like I said, I'm almost kind of jealous because pretty much, even if they're not perfect, most games, I would venture to guess, have at least some subtitle options and stuff like that. Granted, games could do a lot more in a lot of cases, but not very many games really have much in the way of visual enhancements. Where the visual stuff we're still really kind of behind on, and you can kind of look everywhere in their subtitles and control remappings and all that, but visual accessibility kind of still seems to be really behind in a lot of ways. So here again, we have some of these are all. I'm not going to go through all of the other menus because a lot of these are under audio or visual. So we got all of our volume sliders here. So we got our master volume, we got our audio mix. We can change what our speakers are. We can turn off. Oh yeah, tightness sounds or whatever. I don't know how we say that. Display. See, we got subtitles. We have subtitle size. And that's the other thing. I really wish, like, games that are starting to do subtitle size, can we have those same text size options for menus and UI? Like, oh yeah, you can get large subtitles, but what about people that want to read the rest of the game? If you're going to do it for subtitles, please, pretty please, make that available as a larger text option everywhere. That it would be so helpful. I can't even think of how many games. There's been so many titles that have had like subtitle size options, and then you just get what you get with the menu and other user interface stuff. But so yeah, we got all kinds of, let's see, subtitle background. Oh God, again, I would love to be able to adjust the background for other stuff. That would be great. Text language, speech and movie language. Okay, look at how many options. I mean, like I said, I'm not discounting what they already have because they have a boatload of, okay, we're almost, okay, well, it looks like we're pretty much at the bottom. I'll just, if you want to pause the video and look at some of these other tabs, but a lot of what you're going to find under general and audio and video, like the main things, you're going to find a lot of stuff under the accessibility. So yeah, look at here, you got like the camera x-axis, you got the vibration, you've got all those settings that we saw before. Let's see, we got all of our sliders here. Yep, speech volume, sound volume. I mean, we've got like, oh, okay. Oh yeah, and you have like, this is really, really cool. You can adjust like ambient volume, weapon volume, speech, like machine volume, because there's all these like robots in this game. You've got these robotic dinosaur creature thingies that you're fighting. Force mono audio. So there's even a few more if you dig under all these categories. So like I said, they did, and on Twitter the other day, they just did release a blog post detailing some of their accessibility features ahead of game's release. So kudos for doing that, even a week or two out. So they have improved even over the first Horizon Zero Dawn. We have audio, we've got video, we've got some display modes, we've got all that kind of stuff, and then we're back to accessibility. So there is the menus and options. So you have a lot there for controls, you have a lot there for visuals, for customization, for controls and vibration. All that is excellent. And the game itself is gorgeous. You're in these lush, foresty environments, at least in the beginning. Like I said, I would love to be able to get to the open world. But here's one of the disadvantages to getting the game early. There's not other video footage out there right now, A lot of times if I get stuck, because like I said, if I have a vision impairment and I can't see where to go, I might look up a YouTube video and kind of watch, oh, that's what I'm supposed to look for in the environment. And, because obviously the game isn't out yet, so no one has that type of info out there for me, If I get stuck, it's on me. So once the game hits full release, I might be able to progress and then get to the open world and stuff more. And once I do, if I find that things have improved over time, I might revisit this game. But again, this is an accessibility overview video. It's not really meant to be a full low vision spotlight where I play an extended bit of gameplay. But I am going to show you some gameplay because it does factor into accessibility. So we've got Aloy right here, which is our main character. There's a switch here. Now if I hold down the right analog stick, I bring up my scanner. And okay, since I already use it, you're not going to do it for me. This little switch thingy that I just hit, I'll find something else that I can target. But you see, when I bring it up, I can't really move very fast. It's very, very slow moving. But when I look around, you see like these little blue like highlighter thingies. And if you land on something, you'll see the center blue circle there light up. And then you'll get in the upper right-hand corner, you will get a little description of what that thing might happen to be. And I can also just click the right stick and it'll do like an immediate ping. So, you know, there's a lot of crafting and things. So like you can pick up plants and other items in the environment. You can pick up resources from fallen robot enemies that you kill, all that type of thing. And when you do that, you know, you can craft weapons and tools. Like I can craft arrows and traps and things. So if I hit my left bumper, this is sort of my crafting wheel. I can craft some arrows. I can switch over here. And again, you know, like you kind of just learn where things are. Like again, I'm early in the game. No need for spoilers here. I'm not going to show anything story or anything like that. This has okay contrast. You know, the text in the middle of the wheel there, it's a little small, especially the text below. You've got the top line of text, but then the one below that, that's a little tougher to see. But that's what that interface is. You see on the upper left-hand side of the screen now, I have like an objective. If I move my camera over here, it's not quite so bad contrast-wise. But if I look over, let's say, to this, oof, that is really, really tough. So it's one of those things. You have to find an area in the environment that will make a better background in order to see those types of mission objectives. So I'm supposed to, like, there's this tower up here somewhere that I'm supposed to, like, try to finish knocking this ship down. Again, we're really early in the game. Honestly, I'm surprised I got to as far as I did because I was getting frustrated. There were little things in the environment that I just wasn't seeing. Even, you know, I like the fact that for a while I was traveling with another character, and either Aloy or he would point out like, oh, hey, there's a ladder up here that I can do, or you know, whatever. But it was everything again. The game is gorgeous. Like, it probably doesn't come through as much on the remote play software here, but like when you're looking at this natively on the PS5 on your TV, and I only have even a 1080p TV, and it looks great. I mean, it's a beautiful game. But the downside to that is, as I've said in other videos, is that, and especially in a more organic environment like this, where you have trees and foliage and everything else like that in the way, it's really easy to overlook that one little thing that you're supposed to interact with, or like you got a yellow ladder that blends into kind of a greenish tree or something like that. So it can be really tough to actually see. But again, like, so I can pull up my left trigger here, and you know, that way I can aim with my bow. And I'm just gonna not do that because I don't want to waste that. But let's say I want to. Now the other thing that I can do is if I hit Y when I'm aiming, I've got this little puller thing where I've had to use a few times, where there'll be something in the environment. It's not really a grappling hook, but like I'll shoot it out, and then if there's something that I can grapple onto, it'll stick, and then I'll move back and I'll like pull down like some. You know, I have had to pull down like metal structures or whatever to clear the path or something, that kind of a thing. So let me walk around a little bit here in this area. There's trying to remember where that was that I wanted to. I would love to be able to find something that I can scan because I want to show you that upper right thing. I think it's up here somewhere. Oops, not what I meant to do. Yeah, so I have a bow, but I also have a light attack. I have a heavy attack with my right trigger, or bumper and trigger respectively. So that's pretty sweet. But let me see if I can't. Let me go here. I think it was it over here somewhere? I would love to be able to find, or even if there was like a plant that I could pick up potentially, and then I could scan it, and it should show me. I probably shouldn't have tried to pick up all the plants in the immediate area before doing the video, but like I killed some robots down here, and then looted their corpses and whatnot. But so I have to get up somewhere, and let's see. I forget exactly where that stupid scan thing was, but it's really okay. Wait, I heard something here. When you hear that, that's, and you'll see again. You'll see that circle in the middle. You'll see it kind of spin and light up white, and that tells you that there's something that it's scanning, and because it's like this special, like, you know, a lot of these games have like your detective vision or your, you know, some kind of a scanner vision that you've got now. I forget where it was. Oh, okay, there was something over here. Hello, okay. Right, so I guess on this monitor it doesn't look as bad. When I'm looking at my computer monitor, like the blue, but like when I was looking at it on my TV, it just seemed a lot brighter, and the kind of the background of that dialogue box and the white text just really sort of made it hard to see for me. But it does look a little bit better on my computer monitor, contrast-wise, than it did on my TV. Like, I'm just looking over there, and yeah, the box is just, it's a lot brighter. And this is an older monitor too, so I'm running like DVI instead of direct HDMI. So, you know, there's little differences there, but that's kind of some of the interface stuff. Again, I applaud I applaud the developer.
Down, it might drop the access lift.
Oh, okay. I got a note of something. Okay, I dropped something down. What? Can I? So clearly, there's something in here that I need to act upon. But again, like I said, there's so much detail. Oh, in the background. What are we doing here? I saw something light up. Come on, where are you? Hello? Come on. Oh, it's up here somewhere. Oh, okay, damaged cable connection. So, can I... See, I'm not seeing where... I've probably got to get up there somehow. Ah, shoot. I totally did not mean to have that weapon out. My bad. But yeah, so where I've really had a lot of trouble is the pathfinding. Like, the combat is pretty fun so far. I can hit the touchpad and it'll bring up my map. And honestly, this is where it was really helpful. I could zoom in pretty far. I wish that, like, when I go out, though, and I go back into the map, it always defaults to this value. I kind of wish that it would remember so I wouldn't have to zoom in every time. I wish that it would remember, and so when I go out, then I go in, boom, it always defaults out again. Not, it's not a game ender, but it's just one of those convenience things that would be really nice. But there's just been, like, even in I would probably say that I'm still largely in the, like, prologue or tutorial area. And I have been in this for at least a good couple of hours, just exploring some of the environments, looking for items, looking for secrets, that kind of a thing. But honestly, it's because there's been a few times where I just haven't been quite sure where to go. Turning on the guided waypoints and things is really helpful, because most of the time, like if I'm traveling somewhere and I go to my map, there'll be the diamond and there'll be kind of a nice glowy line that kind of on the map is going to guide me to where I need to be. But now that I'm in the section of the world where I want to be, you have this circular area to say, hey, we're not going to tell you explicitly where the thing is that you're going to need, but it's in this area. But you see, we do have some icons now, even in the circle, likely because I've scanned them. So, I mean, there are some visual things that do help. And, you have to play it a little while. You do get to recognize, oh, there are certain types of ledges that you can, you kind of do the whole Uncharted thing or the Tomb Raider thing where you're, climbing up structures and shimmying along ledges and, going hand over hand along walls, pulling yourself up ledges and all kinds of different things. So there's a lot of traversal stuff. And the part where I was at just before this, I was literally climbing some tower, and I originally had trouble, like I didn't see the ladder because I kept walking past it. A lot of the ladders you have to, they're hanging, but they're not lowered all the way. So you have to bring out your bow, and then you target this little locking mechanism, and then it unlocks it, and then the ladder will fall, so you can climb it. So I just didn't see that ladder right away. Then I found it, I got partway up the tower, and then I kind of got stuck again because I was not seeing one of the environmental things that I needed to do once I got pretty high up the tower. There was an area earlier on where, like, you wound your way around this little area, and then it had a ladder that would give you kind of a shortcut back down to where you were. And I kept sort of going the wrong way, and then there was one little ledge, or there was a surface that I didn't realize I could climb, and I kind of just jumped into it by accident, and I realized, oh crap, you can climb this. And then from there I was okay. But yeah, there's just been, like, the game itself is fun, and if you can see well enough, like, I can tell this is an excellently crafted game. And like I said, maybe once there are, like, videos and let's plays and different things like that, for times when I get stuck, I can occasionally look at some of those as sort of like mini walkthroughs and go, okay, I can't visually see where to go. What can I do? And then I can get further in the game. But, like, with no assistance, with no sighted assistance, with no online guides or hints or videos that I can reference, like, I can play it with as a low vision user, but a lot of the navigation is really an effort for me. I have struggled. Like I said, I've played a couple hours in already, off and on, the last week and a half. I've kind of come back to it a few times. So, like I said, there are a lot of aspects that I love about the game, but just sort of getting around, like, if I had The Last of Us 2, sort of like I could click the stick and go, oh, go this way, or like just, even just, point me in the direction where I can go. Boy, I mean, The Last of Us 2 navigation system really spoiled me, because it just worked so well. That would have been a game where, because I loved the game so much because of the first game, I would have fumbled my way through it, but boy, between the high contrast mode and the text to speech and the navigation system, just using those tools when I needed them, it just made going through that game a pleasure. And I feel like I'm just spending so much time in this world right here. Like I said, it's a beautiful world, but I'm having so much trouble seeing exactly what I need to do that I feel like I'm fighting the actual game more than I am kind of playing it. It's like, oh yeah, it should be blatantly obvious what I'm supposed to do here, but I mean, look at all the again, like for environment and for setting and for graphics and just for like, making the game look pretty. It does. It looks good. You've got all these leaves on the ground. You've got all kinds of just plant life growth here. You've got like shrubbery. You've got some trees. I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff. And so far, that's what the game has been for me. I kind of find that like more urban areas in a way can be a little more easy for me to figure out unless there are really just a bunch of rubble everywhere, because you got right angles, like okay, there's a building, okay, there's a door, there's a window, like I can kind of figure that out. Whereas the more organic type of thing, especially when there's leaves and tree branches and everything like that all around, it can be a little harder for me to pick out what is important, especially for like navigation. So I know I babbled a little bit more than I intended to, again as usual, but that is a look at the accessibility of Horizon Forbidden West. It has a lot of great accessibility features. So if some of those that we went through in the menus do look good to you, I would highly recommend giving it a shot. If you are totally blind, I would say this game is not accessible at all to you. The only exception to that could be if you have someone who could help you via the co-pilot mode. Now that maybe you could kind of work on. Maybe you could do some of the combat stuff. You could be guided and like somebody could help you with the navigation, but independently, no. This game is not blind accessible. Low vision accessibility, I'm just going to say it's going to really depend on your vision. If you have very moderate vision impairment, you might be able to do it. Like I said, the little scanner mode is helpful. It has clued me into some things, but even with that, I have struggled. Like I said, I wanted to be able to show you more of the overall mechanics and more of the open world, but I just, having played the game as much as I have so far, I just haven't gotten that far. Because it's been kind of a struggle for me, and it really sucks because I really, really want to play this game. I really want to enjoy it, but it is rather difficult with uh, the visual detail and maybe not so much visual accessibility options that are in there so far with my particular vision impairment. So I hope this video is helpful to you. Thanks again to the developers and Sony for providing the review code. It is much appreciated. And give the video a like if you did. Subscribe if you have not done so already. You can follow me on Twitter at BGFH79, twitch.tv/illegally-cited, illegally-cited.com, and right here on YouTube. So until next time, I will chat with everyone again later.